G'day punters, welcome to the Deep Dive powered by puntingform.com.au. It's a sectional database. It does everything you want. Black books, speed maps, class benchmarks. So that's how fast they go for the class of that race. So it's a really good way to measure how strong a maiden was, for example. All average benchmarks. So you can just, which is sort of what everyone else uses, you can just measure everything across everything. We're punting form till we die. You should be too, Peter. We're also mailbag till we die, and how good, how fat, how joyous, how glorious was Saturday. It was, I'd say, as perfect as weather can get in this state.
Absolutely.
At this time of year. The sun was shining, the light little breeze, just in case you got a little bit too hot because you have to wear a suit in the members. There was a plentiful amount of good people out there, mainly clients offering me free dardos in between races. God bless you, Josh. A couple of blokes, I've forgotten your names, but we'll see you again this Saturday. And an amazing crew we had. Roch Brody brought the young streets. He was running around like Santa Claus in the members, dishing them out to Tigsy. I think Jackson Cook, who's racing manager at Elton Zara. I think everyone sort of... He went out into the non-members, which he said was pretty dirty, which is a bit low of Ross because he's from Swan Hill, but to even feed Jackson. So... amazing crew, amazing day.
And everyone won.
Game, isn't it?
It was great. Everyone was a winner.
And most importantly, General Bow was enormous in inferior lanes, and that was the third leg of your double and triple.
Yep.
And all three of mine hit. So I'm so... I can feel the suit being fitted upon me as we talk now.
It was... I don't know. It's hard to be too upset, really, but I'm not sure you can probably see a meeting better than we did between us.
Mm.
And I'm
the
still...
Duais, or full credit to you. You beat the market. It killed him. It's trying a huge figure, and then
yep.
I don't know. Maybe I just got a bit lazy. I missed it a bit. Like I couldn't see it how you saw it, and but then when you went back. It's there to be seen if you looked in the right places. What sort of ceiling do you have on that horse?
Well, that's the hard part because we're now into that unknown territory. I've got that small little query still over the horse going over 2,000. And obviously it's performed well third up last prep again, this prep. I mean, look, it did, as a 3-year-old in the Oaks and the Queensland Derby, it's run over those slightly longer distances. But against up the seasoned horses... I don't know, I just have to have that small little knock on them. But, that's the one start where I reckon you got the price, got the cash. I don't think I'll be following it next start, I'll put it that way.
Is it a 2,000 metre horse?
Look...
It failed in the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah.
I think it was a quick backup from memory. It might have even been the Wednesday backup, Pete.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. Was it?
Yeah.
And SP... It was in the market, but not the market, like $15, $30 chance, something like that, I reckon. So that's 2,400 incentivises Caulfield Cup. The logical step for me would be they step up and trip slightly.
Yep.
Or what would you think they're going to do?
I think they will step up and trip, but I'm looking at this race and just going, Spanish Mission was so enormous up front. Like, it only just got tired late. I'm just thinking wherever that horse goes, that's the one that I want to follow out of this race. The rest of the field, yeah.
He was very much handlebars down, J-Mac, on Saturday. I mean, the Spanish Mission went faster to the 600 in the Melbourne Cup, but that's the Melbourne Cup. Should we start talking about the Newmarket and what J-Mac?
I mean, it's still staggering, isn't it? Like, it's probably the most interesting race of the year, and we're 2.5 months into it.
We've lost a lot of champions in sport recently, and I think Varley, Home Affairs, good luck at stud, my man. He's not coming back from that.
He did look sensational, didn't he?
And he walks like he's as nice a type and walker and everything as you'll ever see on type. And I reckon he's smart, and I reckon J-Mac fucked him, and he's a smart horse who walks good. He's going to go, you know what? I'm a big boy. I'm not putting myself through that shit again.
Look, I agree to a certain extent, but we were sitting at what, like the 250, right? And as they've gone past us, there's
The
about
four,
4 lengths difference between the inside of the track and the outside of the track. Now, I thought when I'd be looking at the data, it would say Home Affairs actually wasn't going that quick, and then I've got that completely wrong. But yet, still, the only horse that really made a lot of ground on that outside, besides Levante, was Artorias. And like,
who was drawn to.
yeah. So yeah, Froggy knew it didn't want to be part of the other gang, which has filled the first or 4 of the first 5 at any price. It's so staggering to think. But that race was well and truly shot with about 350 metres left.
Yeah, like I think that's a really important point to make. So if James McDonald was an apprentice, he would cop a 3-week ban probably for what he did. But to the eye, when you watched it live, it was perfection because he was humming. So maybe the stewards wouldn't do anything to him if he was an apprentice. I don't know.
Yep.
But he travelled the Lux at the 400-metre mark, assuming the outside was superior from where we were sitting. He was winning, and but to the horse's credit, like he's completely gassed. That's like suicidal tempo.
Yeah. The only other time he's gone that fast in his career, which wasn't as fast as Saturday, was in the Everest, and he failed on that occasion.
My theory, like most things, relates to like a human running at 98% in an Everest, and then going at 108. Those little extra lengths from 10 to 15 are fucking going to really, really hurt. Whereas, like say, going the five lengths different from 10 to 15 is going to kill the horse much quicker than going 5 to 10 lengths.
Yep.
Going 10 to 15 is what I'm trying to say. Unbelievable. The ride on Artorias.
The zig or the zag, however you want to describe it early.
Does he walk tracks, do you reckon?
Was it the track? I still don't know. I've got no idea.
Well, if
Obviously,
you look at the overall meeting data, the winners constantly, like all day long, except for the first the 2-year-old fillies, right? 2-year-old fillies. So
yeah, you ignore that anyway.
Ignore it. They're all inside.
Yep.
I think General Bow's run was big in that race, which we'll get to. I don't understand what he was thinking, given the way the track was racing and the data that he would have in his head. But maybe he walked the track. I certainly thought on Thursday that's how he'd ride the race. But I didn't expect the inside to be superior. The inside was good all day. Carting and Queen came up the inside late. It was very hard to run on. And just a quick FYI to that, let's roll the dice and Mark Zara's Kissonallforcheeks, who sat wide and just pissed in, give him an extra tick or two.
Yeah.
Big performances versus the shape of the day.
But as you said, still in those same lanes, isn't it? We're talking lanes 5 to 10 on punting forms wide. So you can just see that.
It's fat.
Consistently.
I think Artorias goes really, really close to winning if he held it inside. But I'm not completely bagging the ride, but he made the decision, and if he got it right, he looks like a genius, going from 2 to the outside lane and winning. But it ended up that barrier 2 was probably the best barrier in the race, so he looks like a moron at this point in time. But that's sport, that's horse racing, that's riding horses. Sometimes they're going to look like complete and utter morons, and then other times they look like absolute gods. So I kind of feel a bit sorry for Froggy because he rode the good horse, was meant to be good horse, Zarasto, who was awful, I thought, pretty weak. Paraded like a monster, would have cost a shitload as a yearling. It wasn't a stupid tempo, and I couldn't handle it.
But yeah, you often talk about as well the track and trip horses down the straight. Well, the astrologist September runs, what's that? All track and trip horses. We just didn't really have any line on how Roch and Horse and Levante would go, but clearly that New Zealand form they're both coming from is pretty hot in hindsight. So
I think though also the results heavily dictated by the ridiculous tempo. This is like a 1,300, 1,400 meter race as opposed to a 1,200 meter race for tempo. You know, like there was a concern over Home Affairs getting 1,200 because he knocked off Nate Strip over 1,000, right? So then to go from that to this.
Yeah. Fascinating to see if he has one more start.
He's gone. He went twice as fast to the 600 as he went last start, over 1,000 metres. And he had to run another 200.
Yeah.
He went 7.5 above the all-average benchmark to the 600 in the Black Caviar Lightning. He went 15.7 to the 600 in the Newmarket. I reckon we won't see him for a fair while. He might trial, you know, they might try and give him one more go and just be really nervous about him and then scratch him and then say he's done a tendon and then is at stud.
What about Lost and Running?
That's favourite.
Oh, yeah. It's a touch cynical, but yeah. I mean, look, the horse that started favourite was Lost and Running.
He's a big beast. Yeah, that was the interesting part, wasn't it? The market hated Home Affairs.
Yeah, it was real soft late.
And have you ever seen a better horse in the mounting yard? Maybe, but we're both not sure. We can't think of one off the top of our heads.
Yeah.
It's a beast.
It's a proper beast, isn't it?
His first season at stud ought to be.
Yeah. And then, you also had Quantico as well that was firm late. But that was, I think it almost jumped single figures, did it not?
Thereabouts. It was hovering around it. Yeah, it was. I don't know what you do with Lost and Running.
Yeah.
Like, it's gone shithouse. Like, really, really bad. The market wanted to be with it. It was a really nice horse. This is a Group 1 over 1,200 metres. These are the nicest types of horses that Australia racing has. Big beast. Real, like, bit bigger horse. Sort of like long balanced horse.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do with it. Maybe the hunter form isn't that good.
Shock horror. All right. Look, the Newmarket, I think there'll be plenty of opinions coming out of this race. We did touch on the Australian Cup. But look, Think It Over was favourite in that race. I reckon it was probably a pretty decent performance. I had a small just query on it. First start, Flemington. I've always just got that small query when they have to go, different track for the first time, and especially going the other way, which I believe that was the first time it was actually running the Melbourne way. So I thought it was decent enough of a good tempo, but that just might be its level.
Steel Prince was weak. Parade okay. Was blessed in run. Cascadian, I think he just wanted to be outside horses in the straight. He just sort of couldn't get him there with momentum.
Yep.
I think Ho Khan's either flying or this race is a bit chinky. So what I'm suggesting, what I'll be doing personally, is what we talked about on the escalators on the ride down. Just full credit to you, Peter, and I'm not betting in these sort of races unless I have to. I reckon they're sort of turn takers, and you might get them right and make some money, but you're just as likely to dust it. Spanish Mission's going to improve. They're all going to improve, sort of thing. Duais will be $4 next time. Do you want to be with it then?
Probably not.
I think they're turn takers, and I think it's from a punter's point of view, a sort of form line, and just race types to avoid.
Yep. Well, Kissonallforcheeks killed them in the Shaftesbury. She just looks better than that Group 3 company. And if there's a fillies and mares race, Group 1, at any stage between now and the end of the year, you think she'd be putting a hand right up for it?
This is where, like, when we're reviewing, you have to calm down off a big day. Like, I just love this horse because, she was the icing upon the cake.
Yeah.
For me, and she fucking pissed him. She was going so fast that I don't think he could hold her, and going so good. And then it's like, fuck. If it was anyone, if it was apart from, let's say, a handful of riders, I would have been shitting my pants. It's like, fuck, we've gone real early here, Mark.
Yeah.
He was about 4 lengths in front of him when they went past us. There was still 14 seconds of the race to go. I reckon it had a little bit of an edge on them fitness-wise, some of those horses in the yard, but not a massive edge. It certainly wasn't a race where we thought I'm really happy with the like the fixed odds bet we had.
Yep.
I think is this the Charlotte race?
Yes.
Like, geez, it looked good. Rich Hips looked good. A couple of horses looked really forward, and just Walking Grouse, Crosshaven looked really good. So I think that sort of leans to having a bit of faith in this horse, and you look at the profiles, like run over 800 metres in a Group 1, run third, so he's going to get further. I think if it was more tempo or a better horses in this race, it might have won by even further and run a much bigger figure.
Yep.
But I'd hand over to you for its ceiling. I would just say that it's basically just, from my point of view, when I look at the data and the reason why we backed this horse is it's just maintained that sort of trajectory that it looked like it was on.
Yeah, the Group 1 mile race on Derby Day, perfect candidate. What is it, the Empire Rose? Is that what they call it these days?
Yep.
But perfect race for it, you'd think.
And it has that like just a little bit of versatility with that tactical speed that put it into that that good spot.
Yeah,
it's a bit like iffy early. There was 0 in run punting for me in this race. It was just all about watching and praying for this horse, and Mark slotted her in.
It was the thing I like about her is that she can handle slow tempo. She's got that turn of foot to sprint, but she can also go with them when they go quick. So she's just automatically got a lot more versatility than a lot of her rivals. She tightened up just nicely from when I last saw 4 weeks ago at Ascot. Like, no concern with the parade at all. And the price drifted, which was wonderful. You're always like a little bit iffy. Like, do I take the early price or do I wait and see how she parades? And yeah, I got...
Well, it's just added to the glory, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you just sort of had to have a little bit more on, and then, like, God bless the market too for steaming into Shalo or Charlotte, who walked like a very scary horse if you weren't on it, but the steam made it such that it was just like, oh fuck it, just have a bit more on Kissonall here.
Yep.
Like, if it was $13, I probably would have chopped it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where's your next?
Well, I was going to say, we probably just have to mention the last race briefly. For those who had Cardigan Queen, one out in the quaddie or
last leg of the multi.
Yeah.
I think you were pretty stiff. I thought Socialist improved from the mounting yard big time.
Yep.
Big run Daisy's backing up from an Oaks prep. Full credit Dan Bowman, one of the good guys in racing, and not John's best work, but he rode like God last week, so we sort of spoke about that with Froggy.
Yeah.
They're athletes. They're riding 60 k's an hour. They're going to make a lot of bad decisions, and that's just the risk we take, and it's nowhere near the risk they take, I guess, is it?
No. Strong figure Flying Mascot race 2 as well.
Oh,
it's just a good horse, isn't it?
Well, let's talk about this for a bit. I was explaining this over a dart with a couple of punters out the back. Like, when this horse wins, so we've backed Flying Mascot, we backed the winner of race 4 out of the Bendigo Maiden and Kissonall 4. And I'm saying, like, when Flying Mascot wins, I'm winning just about the same amount, and I've bet more because it's a shorter price, but it's like a, sweet, righto, let's keep going. It's just like a relief.
Yep.
Whereas when the other two win, it's like validation that you know what you're doing. Like, it's, I don't know how or why, but there was a bit more angle there. This horse is just fucking legitimate. It's properly genuine. I was thinking about it just to myself when I'm reviewing the meeting this morning. Has it got maybe... you could almost give it 2 or 3 lengths on this run if it was a better horse in this race that asked it to do a little bit more. Like, it fucking pissed in.
Yeah. It's going at a similar level to what it was doing last prep, and that was running, it ran 5th in the Empire Rose. We're just talking about that. 5th in a Group 1 when an SP $10 behind Colette. Like, just seems to be improving.
It's fucking airborne.
Yep.
It's completely airborne, this horse. It's an ATM. It's the safest bet there was on Saturday. It's bomb-proof map-wise. Up to a mile is a massive tick. 1,400 to a mile. Like, it goes to Moonee Valley, it's going to be suited. Caulfield, going to be suited. Flemington, suited. The only other place it's going to go now is Randwick or some Metro track to pinch big prize money. It's almost boring how good this horse is.
Yeah, just a proper good horse. All right, was there anything else that you wanted to follow out of the card?
Yeah, I quite liked the. Obviously, I loved the performance of Let's Roll a Dice in race 4.
Yep.
Big bet, great price. It beat a horse called Stand by, and get your pens out. Get your pens out, or get your phone out. Put into your notes, or if you use some type of app for a black book, which you should just make a note, and then go home and put into your puntingform.com.au black book, where it emails you and says, hey, knackers, your horse is in 2 days.
Yep.
Charlemagne was favourite and big spruik to knock off Let's Roll the Dice on debut at Bendigo. Let's Roll the Dice beat it convincingly, but didn't start shorter than it. Let's Roll the Dice has come out and pissed in. Like, gapped them here. This was a big win. I think Charlemagne is... they'll go up 220, 250 somewhere. It'll start at $1.60 and hopefully just win. I'll be on with you. I think you can follow Let's Roll the Dice and you can follow Kissonallforcheeks with confidence. I think they weren't overly suited first of the day.
Yep.
I think this Brosnan, Gerald Ryan, Ben Mellum Road, out of that Let's Roll the Dice race is above average and will win a race. It's only had 2 starts, both at Group 2 level. I thought this So You See, Peter.
Yes.
Did you see it?
I did not. Oh, it doesn't...
So you see in race 5 where Yearning was bloody plain, looked like a moral out of the yard, I thought. Ever again. Every possible. Great ride, John McNeil. Nothing. This So You See, who brought Pakenham form, so I didn't even exist to me. I love the performance here. I think this is a horse with upside. I think it's a lightly raced little filly with a bit of sort of scope, Peter.
Yep.
Like, it's gone from a maiden to a Group 2 and run 4th. If you ask me, a bit greedy, and they're obviously not punters, which is a bit concerning the owners, because I would have stepped my way right through the grades to earn every bit of prize money. But they've gone from a maiden to a Group 2, big run. I think So You See is a horse to follow.
Okay. Like it. All right, this week, what have we got? We've got Hillside Wednesday. There's
I don't know.
The Valley Friday night, the Alistair Clark, which is the Group 2 over the Cox Plate distance. Flemington All-Star Mile.
So we've got Warrnambool today where we bet. We won yesterday to Chuka. God bless you, Jackson.
Yep.
Ballarat tomorrow, so it's basically an RDO. Ladbrokes, full set of prices, race by race, mounting our mail. Kyneton Maidens, chance, Pakenham, must miss, RDO. Terrain, unlikely. Geelong on Saturday, probably bet the Maidens there.
Yep.
Get the work done. That might be a job for intern Lindsay that might be his debut for pricing. And then, unlikely Sunday, but you never know.
Swan Hill.
Yes, I feel like, don't know how to say this without making you have to edit stuff, but I feel like you could say it is the season of the hot worker currently. And Swan Hill is a very scary place to bet in when the hot workers are in town.
Okay. Well, bye for now.
Bye for now.